How's it going, everybody? I'm meteorologist Joey Cragness back with your daily forecast. Today, we have some major metro areas in the severe risk, mainly for hail today, but all hazards are going to be possible, but that large hail is the main threat. So hail, wind, and tornadoes, but wind and tornadoes on the lower end of the threat, primarily being a large hail threat today. And then after we get through today, looking at some calmer weather ahead. Tomorrow there is still a small risk for some severe weather out east, but into the weekend things are quieting down quite a bit before we could see another uptick in severe weather going into the beginning and middle of next week. Looking at what we have going on right now, we have some storms that were popping up between Arkansas and Louisiana, some of them severe warned so far. Not much going on, but just a little bit of morning and early day convection going on. You can see the cold front stretching down from Kansas City, just moved through Oklahoma City now, about to reach Dallas in the next couple of hours or so. And the speed that cold front moves through is going to kind of dictate how large these storms are able to get. If we get some good daytime heating ahead of that cold front, that's going to dramatically increase that large hail threat as we go into the afternoon. Right now, across the rest of the country, we have this trough that's sitting all the way up in Canada, a low pressure system right over Lake Superior, and we have a really long cold front that's extending all the way down. You can see kind of that boundary. We got 63 out in Fort Wayne, 49 in Minneapolis, that cold front kind of lining up right in between there. That cold front already passing through Kansas City, dropping those temperatures down to 50 degrees. Just moved through Oklahoma City. We were up in the mid 70s earlier today, but now we are down into the mid 60s, almost up to 80 degrees in Dallas. The cold front, there's about a 10 to 15 degree temperature difference between the warm and cold side of that cold front. So that's going to kick things off pretty quickly here. Sorry, no Denver, Colorado hail for today, but that'll probably be coming a little bit later as we get into the more peak of summer here soon. So this is what we got for dew points. You can see that cold front extending. We got 60 mid and upper 60 degree dew points on that warm side of the cold front, and then about 30 to 40 degree dew points on the cold side there. So a pretty steep gradient. Yes, Dallas Fort Worth is in the target area for today. We'll get to that hail map and what we can expect for that here in a little bit, but that cold front continuing to push off into the Mississippi River Valley as we go into the evening hours. And then those dew points die down pretty considerably as that cold front pushes off into the Gulf of Mexico, pretty much killing that severe threat for the time being. But this is what we got for instability, some decent instability building up into Texas and the DFW area, providing a good amount of energy for those storms. And then as we get into later this afternoon, you can really see that energy begin to ramp up around the 3 to 4 p.m. time frame, expecting things to start to kick off in Texas around that time frame. Earlier target for severe storms is going to be up in Missouri and northern Arkansas with that first wave of storms, and then as those storms begin to kind of weaken a little bit, the risk will move south into Texas, Austin also in the risk area as well. But then as we get into the evening hours, that threat will die down quite a bit. We could still have some elevated storms going into the evening and overnight hours, but we're expecting the main threat to kind of be more mid to late evening kind of time frame. So here we got our significant hail model, so combining a bunch of different environmental parameters to spit out one number to give us an idea of what we can expect for the probability of large hail going into this afternoon. So you can see around 5 p.m. that the maximum values for the significant hail right along that cold front stretching all the way from southern Mississippi, or not Mississippi, Missouri, all the way down to the Del Rio, Texas area, could see some larger hail along that boundary. But then, like I said before, that hail threat decreases pretty quickly as that daytime heating goes away, and that cap begins to build back in as we get that nighttime inversion. So we have our high resolution model looking in the Missouri area right now. So 2:30, this is what we can kind of expect, just some scattered storms. But then as the conditions become a little bit more favorable going into the next coming hours, we could see St. Louis possibly get a strong storm or two, maybe some decently large hail, strong winds out of these storms as that system continues to track off to the southeast. And then, like I said before, this system is going to become linear fairly quickly and turn into a wind threat, that hail threat decreasing as we go into the overnight and evening hours, and becoming mainly a wind threat for portions of Kentucky, Tennessee, and northeastern Arkansas. And then down south we have storms starting to pop up, just these little tiny cumulus clouds starting to turn out some precipitation as we go into the mid-afternoon hours, and then early evening. Dallas, they could see a storm possibly around the 4 to 5 p.m. time frame, looking at some weaker storms. They could be stronger, again, just depending on how fast that cold front moves through. If it starts to slow down, these storms could grow pretty quickly, but if that cold front undercuts the storm, it's going to diminish that hail threat pretty quickly. And then you see this nice storm popping up, moving south into Waco and Austin, Texas. And then we get another little storm bubbling up on the south end of that cold front. So not exactly how things are probably going to play out, but somewhere along those guidelines. St. Louis, Little Rock, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, kind of all in that risk area for today. So this is what we got for our hail map. The largest risk area for large hail is going to be in the St. Louis area, stretching all the way down into DFW, Austin, all the way south to the Texas-Mexico border down there. But largest risk for hail is going to be on the northern edge of that cold front, where it's moving just a little bit slower. It gives some more time for daytime heating as we go into the afternoon and early evening hours, and then the risk becomes larger as we get into the evening hours for Texas for that larger hail down there. So the cities that we got right now for the risk area: St. Louis, Springfield, Little Rock, DFW, Austin, all under the gun for large hail today. We could see some fairly large sizes out of the storms today. They might be more isolated, but it could be some fairly large hail that these storms produce today, because there is just a massive amount of instability and moisture for these storms to work with. It all just depends on how fast that cold front moves through as we get into the evening hours. This is what we got for our wind threat, though. Pretty much the same area as that hail threat, with the same cities kind of under the risk. More of a wind threat for DFW than a hail threat. I'm going to kind of come to that conclusion because of how fast the cold front is moving on the southern end of this system. A little bit slower up north, but still a larger wind threat up there. Now, going into the tornado threat, It's a slightly smaller area just because the parameters aren't as good farther off to the south end of that cold front, just with the way that the storms are expected to develop down there. St. Louis, Little Rock, DFW, still in that risk for tornadoes today. It's not as high of a tornado threat today than previous days, but that possibility is still there if we get some slower moving, more isolated storms that aren't just completely overrun by this cold front. They could produce a weak tornado or two as we get into the afternoon and evening hours. Max size expected for today, I'm going to expect up to tennis ball. Maybe we could see a baseball or two out there, but tennis ball size is what's the most probable maximum size for hail today out of some of these storms. We don't have the best upper level support for this system. It's just this tiny little wave that we have kind of supporting those storms to the south in Kansas and Oklahoma. There's just this tiny little short wave in the upper levels that's kind of providing enough lift for these storms right now, but we have this long cold front extending all the way from the Great Lakes all the way down to Texas. That's going to be the main source of lift for these storms. And when we get a super strong cold front like that, they tend to overrun the storms and kill them off pretty quickly. So they could produce some large hail at the beginning and then just turn into a line as that cold front continues to progress. Moving into Friday, that jet streak continues to push off into the northeastern U.S. And then things kind of quiet down as we get into the weekend. We could see a little bit of a disturbance on Monday moving through the Rockies and the upper Midwest. That could kick off some severe storms up there. It's a lower end risk because it's not a super strong system up there right now. But it is possible that we get some severe weather out there with that. And then moving into the back half of next week, we have this nice little trough that could produce some severe weather for the Central Plains. We're keeping an eye on that. As we get into next week, we'll have a better idea of how things are actually going to turn out with that system. So extended rain outlook, pretty much a good chance for above average precipitation everywhere to the west of the Mississippi River, slightly to the east as well, but above average chance for pretty much the entire western half of the U.S. Same with above average temperatures expected out there. So that means that we could get some higher chances for some severe weather when we have the above average temperatures and above average precipitation expected for this time of year, because those temperatures aren't high enough where they're going to just completely kill all of our storm chances going into the back half of next week. So that's all we got for today. I know it was a lot, but if you're interested in learning more about us, go ahead and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, or you can go ahead and scan that QR code up above me if you're interested in purchasing a plan, or you can give us a call at 855-334-4245, email us at info@hailtrace.com, or check out our website at www.hailtrace.com. That's it for now. I'm meteorologist Joey Kragnos. Thanks for watching.